What's up, everybody, and welcome to Drinks with Drea. It has been so long since I posted a video on YouTube. So, I think I still have 30 subscribers. To my 30 subscribers, I am back. I have been thinking about when I'm going to post another video for the longest time. And if I keep waiting on the time when my hair is combed, my edges are laid, my makeup is done, I'm dressed, the house is quiet, I will never post a goddamn video. And I'm just at that point now where I feel like we're in a time where we all in our own little bubbles are dealing with some level of isolation, and we got to get out of it, right? We got to stop waiting for the perfect time, waiting for us to be able to fit a certain size, be able to drive a certain car. Like if we keep waiting, time is just going to pass us by. I know I'm talking to somebody. So, we just gonna go ahead and get back to it. So y'all know how Drinks with Drea go. Look, I done said so about 45 times. I'm over here nervous. It's just me by myself. 12:45 in the morning. Everybody sleep, or at least they're just not down here. The baby sleep, which is the most important thing. Um, but it's just me. And so I thought, let me just get my thoughts out. This may or may not make it to the web, but if it does, hi. If it doesn't, oh well. Um, so I'm going to title today's show "Life Been Lifin'," and I think that resonates with a lot of people. Like I just have this feeling, and I don't know. I could be just delusional or just projecting, but I feel like we all going through it. I always look at social media as like a pulse check for society. How are people feeling? Because that's literally what most social sites ask, what's on your mind? And so when I see so much negativity, so many people looking for any excuse to dogpile on somebody, disrespect somebody, say something disrespectful, malicious, or heinous, I know that we're not doing okay. Because if we're all successful, at peace, have a good community around us, we're not spending our time on the internet even to give a think piece about someone else's life that we're only seeing through our phone. So obviously, in my mind, we're all in our own little bubbles. We're not checking in on our friends. We're not socializing as much as we need to. We're not checking in on our own mental health. We're just going online and letting everyone else have it for whatever it is that we may be dealing with or feeling in our own world. And so we need more voices of reason. And that's one thing that I know God gifted me with is a voice of reason. I don't side with people based on gender, but on age, on race. I tend to side with what makes sense logically. And so I'm going to try to add that perspective to the world. So it is Drinks with Drea. And so we're always going to start with what we're drinking. So today, and I'm about to tell on myself because I've already clearly been drinking, we sipping on some Chardonnay. And I don't know. You know what? I'm not about to promote them. They don't deserve it. They ain't giving me no money. But it's from a place that has its own brand of wines, and you can go and do wine tasting. And I don't know if it's just in Illinois or if it's all throughout. But I'm drinking Chardonnay. And so here's my glass. Y'all tell me if this makes it to YouTube in the comment section what you sipping on. But yeah, you can't even see my glass. And honestly, I'm lying to y'all because I am drinking Chardonnay, but I just poured me a shot of Tito's, which why it looks so clear. So I'm gonna sip my shot of Tito's and then I'll probably be done for the day. Salud. All right, let's get into it. So I want to start with first addressing why have I been gone so long? I don't even know. Let me see if I can look at my phone and determine the last time I posted a video because I don't even know. Number one, your girl been on a weight loss journey for about 20 years now. Quiet as kept. And I'm always like, girl, you gotta go do what you gotta do and eat better and work out. I made $30,000 this month. Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it. I feel like Mariah. What is? Oh, okay, there we go. It's been 2 years. 2 years since I posted a video, and it got 20 views. So maybe today I'll get 21 views. But I've been gone so long. I'm always a parent that blames their kids. Like, oh yeah, I had a baby 10 years ago. So I had a baby in 2022. And she's an age gap baby, which means that at the time I had her, I had an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. So essentially I was starting over. And baby, having a baby at 19, 20, you're a kid yourself, you're full of energy. You can play with that baby all day, honey. Having a baby at 37, and then I was working full time, it was kicking my ass. I ain't even gonna stunt y'all. Not getting any sleep. The list goes on. But also social media. And I know y'all probably experienced this where social media, and I think the new CEO of Red Lobster said it best. He said that when you are constantly engaged in social media, you become an amalgamation of everything that you saw. And it's so true. If you're scrolling TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you're going to go from a police brutality video to a wedding proposal to a tragic death of a minor. Like, it's just emotion after emotion after emotion. 1 minute you're laughing, next minute you're crying, next minute you're angry, then you back laughing, then you feeling mad. All these different emotions that we're consuming every day over and over and over and over again, find ourselves can barely have enough of an attention span to stay alert through a meeting, through a conversation. That's why we feel isolated. We don't even know how to have conversations with our friends anymore for long periods of time, because we've gotten accustomed to get it out at 2x or 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or I'm moving on. Social media has trained us how to engage, and how we're engaging is not conducive to just normal community. I was following the Yumi and Tuscany, which is a movie starring Halle Bailey and Regé Jean. I was following their movie rollout, and they were talking about one thing that they observed while they were in Italy. And they just observed that everybody is just taking their time through their day. Everything is just having a slow morning, a slow afternoon, a slow evening. And it's like, that's so real. We don't have to have coffee in 10 seconds. We could wait 30 minutes for a traditional coffee machine to brew your coffee. We don't have to warm up our food in 60 seconds. We can allow it to sit in a steady heat convection oven for 30 minutes until we're ready to eat. We don't have to have a packet with a bunch of processed seasoning over overly processed pasta to enjoy a meal. We could take our time to knead that dough and to roll it through our KitchenAid and to cook it fresh and to grow a garden. What are we rushing for? When this life is over, I don't know what death is. But the only thing that happens in this life guaranteed is that one day we're all going to be gone. It's going to be over. So what are we rushing for? Why do we need popcorn in 2.5 minutes? Why do we need everything right here, right now? What's the purpose? Why can't we just sit and enjoy the day? Why can't we just sit and enjoy the sun rising and the sunset? Why can't we just enjoy quietness with our loved ones? Why can't we just enjoy conversations where people never get to the point? I'm the person who's infamous for and another thing or side note, because I can't finish a damn thought. But why do you want me to finish the thought? Let's just let it linger and we'll laugh about it later. That's how I grew up. And then in my adult years, it changed from get to the point. Quick, quick, quick. We got to get through this. And it's like, why in that movie, or at least that conversation that they were having in that interview, just reminded me, why are we rushing? What are we waiting for? Like, yeah, you want to get to the part of your life where you have your dream car and your dream home and your dream husband and all the beautiful things. But at the end of the day, it all ends the same way for all of us, no matter how we live this life. So what are we rushing for? Where are we trying to get to? Slow down. But social media is anti slowing down. Social media is, I want what I see right now. I don't want to go through 10 years of getting to know a person and going through ups and downs. I want him ready made to buy me a new Mercedes and to take care of me and give me a soft life today. And if that's not what he can give me, I don't want him. I want the job that's going to put me right at the executive level where I have the corner office and I get to tell everybody what to do. Or I don't want the job. I don't want to go through entry, junior, senior level. That takes too long. I want that right now. We're in a right here, right now, fast pace. It has to be done on my time, and I'm not waiting for it. But like the beauty in life is in the wait. It's in the from where I was to where I'm at now. All of these beautiful things in life occurred. We don't want the beautiful thing. It makes me think of that movie with Adam Sandler, Click, where he's like, I just want to be at the parts where I'm happy. And his life just kept going very rapidly because the perception is you're rarely happy. But if you change your perspective and you think about what you're really dealing with, don't compare yourself to other people. What are you dealing with? What does your life consist of? And try to find the joy in that. And if you can't find it, slow down. I had a moment today where I thought about that meme, and I see it all the time. This time next year, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, you're going to be in your dream home, in your dream car, with your dream partner, with your. And I looked outside my window and I said, I'm living that dream right now. Am I dreaming bigger? Yes. But I'm living that dream right now. I look out my window into a massive backyard. I see my loving, handsome, hardworking husband trying to fix the shed in the backyard. I hear the sounds of my teenager blow drying her hair. I hear the sounds of my toddler running through the house. I have a Life 360 that lets me know that my daughter's at work. My oldest daughter's at work. I just spoke to my mother not too long ago. I haven't gotten any bad news. I'm employed. I have money in my bank account. Am I rich? No. Do I feel the most secure, like nothing in life can go wrong? No. But I'm living in the moment and it feels good. And we can't get so consumed with, oh, but wait, I can't wait to the moment where you can wait. I want to get to a point where I am 100% debt free. Student loan, zero. Credit card, zero. Car paid, house paid. Even though you're going to always have a bill. But I can't I would I'm waiting for that season in my life to be like I am a lender and not a borrower. I can't wait for it. True. But right now, I have to enjoy the life that I have, the peace that I have. Is it perfect? No. Is it what other people may desire? Yes. Are there people that I may see through social media that life, I feel like I want more of what they have? Possibly. But if I'm so focused on trying to just skip this part and get to that part, I'm going to miss all the beauty of this time. My kids are only going to be the ages that they are once. That's it. My 3-year old is only going to be 3 once. Then she'll be 4 and 5 and 10 and 50. Same with the other two. I'm only going to be 41 once. This is the youngest I will ever be. Why try to skip this part to get to what may be what's really uncertain? There's no guarantee that I'm going to get to that point, even though I'm going to manifest and say I'm going to get to that point. I'm going to get to a point where I'm a lender and not a borrower. I'm going to get to that point where all bills are paid in full. I'm going to get to that point where I get to spend months on end overseas and back during certain seasons and being able to live the life that I may have dreamed of since I was a child. It's going to happen. But right now, I'm just going to enjoy what it is right now. I guess the message in that is just to slow down. Put the phone down. Not right now. Listen to my podcast. But put the phone down when this is over. Sit it across the room. Open your blinds. Pull back your curtains. Look at life. Look at nature. Look at how the grass is growing. Look at the trees. Look at the birds. Look at nature happening. Look at your loved ones. Even if you don't have anybody with you, look at other people that you know and how they've changed and how they've evolved. Think about where you were 5 years ago, whether it was better or worse. Get a better perspective. So back to what I started with, which is why have I been gone so long? Because I lost my perspective. I got caught up in what I'm seeing on socials and started not appreciating everything that I had. This is nice, but man, I want that aesthetic. I mean, I love my partner, but he didn't cook a ribeye like that guy cooked the ribeye. I love my kids, but my kids don't clean up without me asking. Forgetting that these are people who are choosing to hit record and stop and are probably editing out the attitude that they got in between. It's so easy. That's why it's called lifestyle influencers, to look at how other people are living and then feel like, dang, my kitchen doesn't look like that. I don't have those appliances. I don't drive that car. I don't have that degree. I don't have. And you lose sight of what you actually do have. So for a moment, I lost sight. For a moment, I forgot my perspective. I forgot my favorite quote, which is life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. That's what life is. Something is good because you say it's good. Something is bad because you say it's bad. That's what life is. Comparison is the thief of joy. You could be just fine with your life, happy with what you have, and then you see someone else and you think, dang, why my stuff don't look like that? And social media shows you things that aren't even real. So now you're unappreciating your real life because you want to live someone's edited life. that in many cases we found out was never real. So I got caught up, had a baby. I read something that said it takes about 3 years for you to get back to feeling like yourself. And lately I've been feeling like myself. Lately I've been feeling like Drea, the motivated, the optimist, the bubbly when she wants to be, the argumentative when she wants to be, the logical when she wants to be person that made me want to podcast in the first place. But instead of me waiting for me to drop 50 pounds or do my makeup, I just decided, hell, let's just hit record and see what the hell happened. So I'm back. Maybe. We'll see. So let's go ahead and take our shot because y'all know with Drinks with Drea, if you've followed or watched an episode before, I always take a little, sippy sip between segments. We're gonna move on to the next topic that I want to talk about today, and we're gonna take a drink of our fake Chardonnay, aka Tito's, and say salud. Moving along. So I had an experience yesterday that had me thinking a lot. So I'm going to go through my experience. And before I share my experience, I want to preface this by saying I'm in no way trying to be any type of phobic, ist, anything. It's just me sharing my experience with what I dealt with and what I walked away thinking about after this situation ended. So yesterday, it's the weekend. So yesterday I went to a local restaurant that sells like, gyros and burgers and that type of stuff. And got me and my family something to eat. And then I decided, we haven't had Dunkin' Donuts in a while. We haven't had the Baskin Robbins ice cream in a while. Let me just go and grab that as well, so we can have our meal from the little spot and have us a dessert, watch a movie, relax, whatever. It's Friday night. So I get to Dunkin' Donuts, go through the drive-through. I order 6 donuts, three. This is not important. 3 donuts. I ordered a half a dozen, and I had 2 pints of ice cream. And so I went to the window, $26, paid my money, and went on about my business. Went home. The toddler was acting a little agitated because she wanted to go to her uncle or her grandma's house. Like I've been working from home for the last 4 years. She's been with me and she's tired of it. She wants to go to school. She will be with other kids, rightfully so. Nonetheless, she was fussy. Like, I'm not trying to be back at this house. Take me somewhere. And so we're eating as best as I could with a fussy toddler. I'm fussing at her. You know how they go. So we eat. Everybody had their food. I had a chicken Philly. My daughter had a steak. Everybody just ate their food. My daughter had a chocolate chip ice cream, which is her favorite. And they sell it pre-packed, but she likes it hand-packed. Both of the ice creams we got was hand-packed. Soon as she opened her container for her ice cream, she found a piece of hair, which of course with anybody would immediately turn you off. Ill, who wants somebody else's hair in their ice cream? So she gets upset. She puts the top on it. She throws it in the garbage. Say, no ma'am. I just bought that ice cream. Run it back. Pulled it out the garbage. I finished eating my food. And I decided to run it back up there. And I live like 2 minutes away from this store. Get back to the store. I was in the drive-thru originally, but I decided to go through, go in the store because who wants to hold up a drive-thru to talk about hair and ice cream? So I went inside, and I'm like trying to tell them like, hey, I was just here within, the last 30, 45 minutes. I bought these items, and I got my daughter opened her ice cream and found hair in it. So I'm returning it because I want to exchange it for a pre-packed. Now I'm being nice. Most people would have took everything and brought it back and been disgusted. Probably would have asked for extra, but I'm keeping it very minimal because I try not to create too much trouble in life. Period. I don't know what people be going through. It don't be that deep for a $26 order. So I'm very like not too like pushy about stuff like this. But I know people be real intense about fast food and all that stuff, but that's just not me. So I'm explaining to them what happened in great detail. Paid this much, this is what I got, and this is what happened. I just want to replace it with something. I'm not trying to get no money back. I just want to replace it. They get to speaking in their native language and basically told me, "Oh no, no, we can't." And I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean? No, you can't. No, you can't. What?" He was having a hard time. The first guy was having a hard time, explaining to me what he was trying to say. So the guy who took my order, who I guess was like the shift lead at the time, came to me. He spoke a little bit better. And he's like, "Well, it's already melted." And I'm like, "What, you was gonna try to put it back in there? Like, it doesn't matter if the ice cream is melted or not. It's hair in it. We don't want it. Give me something else." "Well, you can come tomorrow and speak to the manager." Now I'm getting mad. I try not to get mad with people because, again, I know people be going through shit. So I just try not to be a problem. I know this little $26 order, people could be losing their home. Like, I try to keep things, I'm very emotionally intelligent. I try to keep things into perspective. This is very small and minimal in my life, in their life. I'm not trying to make a big fuss out of it. But now you're making me mad. Because why the hell would I come here for $8 in the morning over some ice cream when you could just, like, this is Dunkin' Donuts. It's not you and your cousin them. It's Dunkin' Donuts, which is a corporation. Any franchisee should still be following whatever policies that the greater store has. I mean, the greater company has. And while I'm talking about, let me look it up because I don't know what Dunkin' Donuts return policy is. Let me look it up while I'm just talking about it. Hold on. Dunkin' Donuts return policy. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it says generally, Dunkin' handles returns and refunds on a case by case basis at the store level, focusing on making it right if a product is unsatisfactory. For in-store purchase, return the item with a receipt is best. It does say issue with food, drinks. If a product is unsatisfactory, you can return it unused for a refund or replacement. Now, this is just Meta responding, so I don't know. Oh wait, look at me taking up all your time, but we moving slow, so be patient. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. It says make it right guarantee. From now on, your Dunkin' Run comes with a promise. If your order ever misses the mark, just let us know and we'll make it right. This is what you can't see it, but this is what's on Dunkin' Donuts corporate website. But these are franchisee owners. But if you're going to have a franchisee, if you're going to be a franchisee, you still should be following the overall corporate culture of the company, which they didn't in my mind. Because here I am, there was no scoop of the ice cream, nothing was taken out. Yes, it melted a little bit because after I had my daughter pull out the garbage, I finished a couple more bites, put got my toddler settled and went back up there. It probably was a good 5 to 10 minutes between her discovering the hair in her ice cream and me getting to that store. But you're not trying to make it right. You want me to go and talk to a manager tomorrow when I could talk to you today and get this fixed. All I'm asking you to do is let me walk to this freezer and get a pre-pack and go about my day. He goes, "Well, let me call the manager." Again, you're wasting my time. He goes to the back. He's speaking his native language. He's Indian, I believe. So I don't know, specifically what language he was speaking, but he went to the back and did his thing. While I'm waiting, I really just started to like just pay attention to how things were going. I paid attention to the fact that there were two other customers there. I paid attention to the fact that there were people coming through the drive-through. I observed that everybody in that store appeared to be relatives because they all looked very much alike and they were all of the same ethnic background. Not only that, I saw them handling um you know, credit cards and cash, handling the cash register, and going to prepare food. There was no point where anybody washed their hands. There was one point where a guy walked towards the back and did something and came back. One girl took a cup, took the lid off, put some, the same girl who, because she fixed our order. There was one later, and that's the hair that was in our ice cream. But they're doing all this stuff. Nobody's got on gloves, nobody got on a hairnet, nobody is washing their hands in between. It's literally just going about their day. And I observed the girl scooping ice cream out and the guy, it was a guy and a girl scooping ice cream. They literally are putting their top part of their body in the freezer to dig and scoop. So if your hair, which hair tends to do, is shedding, it's, well, you got dandruff, or if you got something on your shirt, if you're gonna physically go inside a freezer and lean in, particles of your body is likely going to get into the ice cream. So it's very clear to me how this thing happened. But now I'm in total disgust because where are your gloves? Where are your hair nets? Why your half of your body is in this damn freezer? Why aren't y'all washing y'all hands? So now I don't even want the donuts I bought. I don't want the other ice cream that I bought. I don't want nothing from this store because I always go there in the drive-through. This is the first time I'm going and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, ew, y'all are not sanitary. I don't even want this stuff no more. While I'm waiting on a guy to come back to talk to the manager, I guess the woman, because she's the one who made the order, got frustrated and said, I'm just going to redo it. And she didn't tell me. She was just, I'm seeing her pack ice cream, but I'm not paying her attention in the way of thinking it was for me. So she's making ice cream. She comes to me. She said, I remade it. I made sure to use the different thing and and there's nothing on it. I looked, there's no hair. I'm like, I don't want another hand pack. Like, I understand, but like, I don't know if that hair was sitting in that bucket or if it fell from your head. I don't know. I don't want the hand pack no more. I want pre-pack. She said, oh, I said, you know what? Y'all can have it. Grab my ice cream, and I just left. I grabbed it because it's not my ice cream. I don't know if my daughter wanted to chance it. I don't know if my daughter wanted to chance it. I know who wasn't chancing it. I just said she might want to give him another try. I mean, it seemed like she tried her best to like pack it up nice, and was watching her. I didn't know it was my ice cream she was packing, but I was generally watching her, and she just scooped it and fit it into the towel. So she didn't do anything to it from what I saw. But it's still, we don't know where that hair came from. Did it drop off of her scalp, or was it just, is it just a glob of hair just sitting in the ice cream? No one knows. And now I'm grossed out by how unsanitary you are. And so I just grabbed it and I just left. Whatever. Of course I left a bad review because yeah, I don't like how y'all handled that. I feel like we're talking about an $8 order. It's $8. If I was somebody trying to get over, I'll bring the whole order back. I'll ask for my money back and then some. I just wanted you to exchange. I didn't even ask for no money. I just wanted to exchange it for something that cost the exact same amount. Because hand packed pint, $7.99, pre-packed quart, $7.99. No money difference. Just I'm not eating this. Give me something that's pre-packed. That way I don't have to worry about it. And you gave me a hard time and wasted my time instead of following what your company culture says, which is to make it right. And of course, I filed a complaint with corporate as well. But all of that said, what triggered in me was the fact, and this is the part that I have to be careful because it's not about me calling out different ethnic groups and all of that. But I never, it's something you notice, but you don't think too deeply about. But when you think about the Dunkin' Donuts, the Subways, the gas stations, a lot of these apartment complex, they're all pretty much owned by different immigrant groups, right? Mostly Indian or Asian, but they own a lot of business and real estate in this country, right? And I don't have a problem with that. But they own it. They hire mostly just their family friends, right? Like I didn't see a black person working there. I didn't see a white person where I didn't see an Asian person where it was all the same ethnic group. And when I thought about it, when I would go to a Subway or when I would go to these other places, it's the same thing. They don't hire outside of their group. And I'm not hating on it. But what it triggered for me was the Fearless Fund. And if you're not familiar with the Fearless Fund, this is a black woman ran group. I think it's based in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. And these women are all successful entrepreneurs who, hold on. Okay. These are all successful women, black women who had a shared experience where they were trying to invest in their business, do crowdfunding, and they had a hard time. And then they did the research and found that black women only get 1% of crowdfunding. And so they wanted to bridge that gap for other black women so other black women wouldn't struggle to get the capital that they need for their business, and decided to open up grants for black female owned businesses, addressing a gap with a marginalized group, which is what this country has traditionally done with the right leadership. And a guy named Edward Bloom, who has been responsible for a lot of court cases that impact specifically Black Americans, decided to take them to court to sue them for discrimination because they created a fund, a grant specifically for Black women. And we also have a case right now where I believe a white Hispanic woman is suing, I think, a hospital over a Black maternal health initiative. Black women are 2.5 times more likely, actually, I think it's like 4 times more likely to die during childbirth. The black maternal health rate is yeah. And black women need special attention because of the bias that a lot of our healthcare providers have towards them. And a fund was created to educate and provide more safeguards to black women, and a white Hispanic woman is suing because she feels like she can't be a part of that program. Yeah. Nonetheless, got one group, handful of black women, and you're suing for what maybe would be max 50 women, black women. You stopping them, even though the other resources that are available to everyone has shown that they only get 1% of that. They're having a hard time being funded. This is statistically proven. A small handful of successful black women try to fill the gap, and you go out your way to sue them for racial discrimination. Meanwhile, you have people who are not born in America, parents weren't born in America, don't identify as American, coming to this country, buying businesses, becoming franchisees, buying apartment complex, only hiring their own ethnic group of people, and it's no problem. And again, I'm not hating on immigrants, but one small group of black women wanting to help another small group of black women, and you want to take that to the Supreme Court? Black women are dying on the table when having babies, and you want to be included in that group when it comes to what? That group is just saying to doctors, treat these black women the way you treat these white women. And you're suing the hospital for not giving you the special treatment that they're already giving you. I just want that to sit with people. Because when you look at any chart, ownership, wealth, income, black people who are born in America at the bottom. We used to be third from the bottom. Now we're literally dead smack at the bottom. We don't own many businesses. Definitely not Fortune 100, 500, none of that. We don't have a lot of property. We don't have a lot of land as a collective. We don't even have like an oasis. We have to get in where we fit in. And the few small pockets of momentum and progress is immediately shut down. While everybody else get to come to this country from their home country, come to the communities where we live, where we're denied loans, where we're denied funding, where we're denied basic civic rights, civil rights, open businesses, not follow the corporate policies of the businesses that they're associated with, hire just their own friends and family, build wealth off of our backs, send it back to their country, and that's fine. But we have one small group of black women giving money to another small group of black women, and that is getting the attention of the Supreme Court. And these women are no longer allowed to use their own money to help other black women. When we think about COINTELPRO, which was an FBI initiative back in the 90s, one of their missions, confirmed on the internal document, was to not let black people unify. Now, COINTELPRO has been dismantled, but their agenda has not changed. We always say, we need to unify, we need to unify, we need to unify. Anytime we try to do anything in the name of solidarity, there is someone waiting to come in and shut it down. And now this current administration is brazenly and boldly saying, anything black, take it back. If it helps black people, it's racist and we don't want it. And it ain't even about other people. Because DEI was supposed to be about all minorities. But the conversation is about black people. Charlie Kirk said, if I see a black pilot, not a minority pilot, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to wonder if he earned it. Black people only benefited 7% of DEI programs, yet we were punished 100% when they chose to dismantle it because it is Black women losing their jobs. It is Black women struggling to find a new job. It is Black women being grossly underpaid and undervalued. You agreed to give us an education, but we have to take your loan. You'll hire us, but at a lower pay than everybody else. If we try to build our own shit and it gets too big, you're going to dismantle it. You use programs that was designed to protect us against racism to now say that we're the ones being racist. It makes me go back to what Joy Reid asks. What more do you want? You've already enslaved our ancestors for 250 years, followed by putting people in jail for being hungry, followed by burning down towns, followed by segregation, followed by decriminalization of everything, followed by flooding drugs in our community, followed by flooding guns in our community, followed by 20 years of us breaking free from all of that and just skyrocketing to success. And you say, oh, fuck no, we got to bring them back. If it's Black, take it back. And this is just a laugh to keep from crying because it's like, what the hell? It's not about nobody else. Y'all are fine with every group coming here. We've been here 20 generations, 30 generations deep. Our ancestors' blood is in the soil of this mother freaking country. Many of our ancestors have fought and died for this country. We stand in allegiance to this country, and you allow everybody from around the world to come to this country and build wealth to take back to their country, and you won't even let the people who live here build wealth. If Black people are angry, they deserve to be. If Black people are tired, we deserve it. If Black people decided to just lash out, it's it's warranted. I'm not promoting it. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying if Black people start cutting up because you're leaving us no choice. You're putting our back against the wall. What do you want from me? Trump want us to get them Black jobs they claim those immigrants was taking because they wasn't talking about all immigrants. They were just talking about the Southern American immigrants who took over agriculture. That those are jobs that he think are Black jobs, and that's the role he wants us back in those fields. Push them out them high paying jobs, get them out them nice homes. They made too much progress. If it's Black, send it back. We want them back in the fields. I can tell you right now, as sure as Black people had the collective feeling to rest, you think that that's going to be our future? I guarantee you we're going to have a different collective feeling, and it's not going to be to rest, and it's not going to be to comply. And we're going to leave it at that. Moving along. We're going to transition to something else because, baby, that's why I've been finding myself back to myself. That's why I've been trying to find my peace. Because social media will have you ready to. But it's not just social media, it's reality. People are losing their jobs in real life. People are struggling to find gainful employment in real life. People are experiencing discrimination in real life. The Black maternal health rate issue is a real life issue. The Fearless Fund are real women. That was a real court case. So it's not just social media. But like Kendrick Lamar said, we gonna be all right. Pour up your drink. Salud. So part of my return, I'm doing a segment called Now That I'm 40. And I'm not 40, I'm 41. But nonetheless, now that I'm 40, and I actually thought about like renaming the podcast Now That I'm 40 because I just had like this thing of a different perspective since turning 40. And it may turn into its own thing at some point, but for right now, it's just a segment. And it's just me discussing life lessons up to this point, turning 40, um, and something I want to share with you. So I want to talk about this concept of peace over presence. And when I think about this, I'm specifically thinking about it from the perspective of physical presence of the people you care about, right? I know there's a big thing where you may throw a birthday party and you invited 50 people and only 12 show up. Or, we get upset with people when they don't show up to things. We're like, oh, I invited these people, they didn't show up. I'm done with everybody. And we get really upset about it. But I thought about it like, number one, I feel like everything in life is spiritual, right? Everything in life is spiritual. And we get so mad at people for the things that they do or say. But I feel like sometimes, and it takes me back to this old saying where it says, and I don't mind is the devil's playground. So I've kind of come to this conclusion that there are multiple, and this is going to sound crazy, but stay with me. There are multiple entities fighting for our souls, right? You got Jesus, who's going to save your soul. You have the devil, which we know about. But I think it's a lot of darker entities they're vying for your soul. So if you're not claiming or repping the Most High, you're up for grabs. And so when people do stuff, especially things that seem out of character, that's what I think about. I don't think Sandra's a bad person. Kelly is terrible. That's the real her. I think this person has not submitted their soul to Christ or to something that they believe in, and their soul is up for grabs, and they are being used to do this terrible thing. And I say that because sometimes, especially if you're a person like me who's very spiritual, who believes in Christ, I'm that person before I have any event. I don't care if it's a Sunday dinner or a birthday party. I'm always praying, Lord, cover and protect me, my home, keep anybody away with bad energy who don't mean well for me, who don't want to be in my presence, who are just here to be a monitoring spirit. I rebuke in the name of Jesus, keep them home. And so when I have an event, if people don't show up, I'm thankful because I feel like the people who showed up were the people who were meant to show up, and the people who didn't were a part of that prayer of keeping away. And again, I don't hold that personal against them as a person because I believe that it's spiritual. Maybe that day they woke up on the wrong side of the foot, maybe on the bed. Maybe that day they're not good energy. Maybe that day I don't want to be around them anyway. And so if that's the case, good. I'll see them the next time. Not holding anything personal against anyone because I recognize that it's all spiritual. I thought about Will Smith, the Oscars, and how he got triggered and got up and hit Chris. People, oh, that's just who he is. No, baby. That was somebody who did not come into that room with the armor of God. That's a person who has dealt with a ton of trauma as a child. That's a person who has felt what it feels like to be a coward and didn't want to be a coward in that moment. If he would have covered and protected himself before he walked in that room, that moment wouldn't have triggered him. That was spiritual. That's just my personal belief. And so when I talk about peace over presence, we don't know what people are battling. We don't know what people are going through. We don't know what demons that's trying to infiltrate them. If you're throwing an event and certain people come and don't come, be thankful for those who showed up for you. Be thankful of having a smooth, wonderful, peaceful event versus an event with 100 people and 50% of them got bad attitudes, 12% mean you, wishing hate on you, 5% taking stuff out your house, not gonna pay their part of the bill, anything. Peace over presence. And here's the real thing, because I see this happening too. People have a party, nobody show up, they devastated. Baby, listen. And I heard this years ago, and it's so true. You are never alone if you like the person you're alone with, which is yourself. If you actually take the time to fall in love with yourself, to learn what you like and don't like, even if you go to dinner and you the only person there, you're going to find any way to find joy in that season, in that moment, at that table. You don't need nobody else. Everybody else is just an enhancement. Peace over presence. Because the spiritual reason why none of them showed up is because none of them were happy for you, and that's okay. And don't hold it against them, because they may not be happy with themselves. Let them work their stuff out. And if they're meant to be a part of your life, you'll see them again. And if not, you won't. And it's all okay. At this age, I value peace over presence. If no one shows up, it's okay. That food will either get eaten, we'll give it away, or we might have to let it go. But it's going to be all right. And that's a lesson I had to learn. I used to get upset. Oh, I invited these people, they didn't show up. Da, da, da. It's not that deep. Let people not show up. Let people disappoint you. Let people. Can you set the alarm? You okay?
Yes, I just ran from a pasta.
Oh, that's why you sat in the car for a minute.
Yes, it was like it's the whole pasta raccoon.
Oh yeah, it be wildlife out here. You gotta be careful. I'm podcasting. Maybe if I post it. Okay, but yeah, so that was what I wanted to share with you guys. Everything is is spiritual, and I thought about this thing where during COVID, especially in the early part of COVID, I started getting into daily devotions. And the reason I did it, Crystal Renee Hazlett, who is Fatima on Sisters, and she has Zatima. I noticed one day on her Instagram story, she had posted like this blurb and it had scriptures. I'm like, what is that? I was curious about it. And after a couple Google searches, I found like what book she was reading from. And it was like a book that had daily, like a daily passage and then a scripture. So I bought it for myself. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope. And I decided to buy it for my close friends as well as my mom. And then me and my mom decided to start doing this every day. And we started with that book. Then we bought the purple book. I forgot like life. I forgot the name. I can't think of it right now. Right now we're on the blue book. Okay. But over the last like 6 years, every day, me and my mom do these daily devotionals. And when I was younger, in my 20s, I had two times in my 20s where I just felt so lost and disconnected and like I didn't know whether I was coming or going, depressed, like what's happening to me. And I would find that going to church would give me just a sense of peace. But it kind of took me back to that saying, like, an idle mind is the devil's playground. When you have not submitted your soul to one of these different entities that's vying for your life, for your soul, for your attention, then you're up for grabs. And you find yourself feeling lost, find yourself wondering where these thoughts coming from, find yourself being greedy, hateful, mean spirited. And you're like, damn, this isn't how I want to feel. And then for me, going to church gave me that peace. Let me know who I am, more importantly, whose I am. And so that happened to me twice. I always loved God, grew up in the church, always pray. But you get to a point where you forget to pray. It's been a while. You haven't thought about it. You're not going to church, and you just lose that connection. The daily devotional gives me that connection every day. And honestly, I'm at that age now where I pray every day, all day anyway, because it gets real. Um, but I would suggest, that's why I'm bringing it out, to anyone who, recognize I'm not myself. I'm being jealous. I'm being mean spirited. I'm not motivated. I feel disconnected. You need to ground yourself spiritually. And if you are a believer of Christ, daily devotions will be instrumental in you maintaining that relationship. I feel bad sharing that, and I'm about to take a sip. But y'all get my point. So, all right, I think I'm done. That's all I got for y'all. If you ever see this, um, I thought about talking about, like, are we still resting? Because if we still resting, we don't need to be resting no more. We need to be moving in silence. I just saw this brand called Sensory. Shout out to these three black women who came up with a non-alcoholic brand that still gives you like a little bit of a feeling when you're sipping it, which I do want to try, but babe, they sold out. But I saw them and it's like making headlines. Oh, these three black women. I was like, as much as I'm proud of them for getting into this space in their progress, we can't keep making progress news because we got haters. We got people rooting on our downfall. We got black people, we got haters. We just got to make moves and just, because when they find out it's us, baby, they finding any way to shut it down. You know, that means, like, these folks got so much money, they'll put you in court for 10 years until you exhaust all your savings. And they don't mind spending the money if it means us not making progress. We have to find ways to celebrate each other without putting it on the news because, baby, we got haters. So that's my final thought to my community, to my people. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to talk like it's coming from a place of fear. I just want us to realize that moving in silence is a thing for a reason. I think the season of rest has come to an end. I think we're in the season of creation, building, solidarity, unity, all, everything doesn't need an announcement. We're so powerful, yo. We're so powerful. Everybody else knows it. We the ones that's like, huh? That's power. The next, I'm just about to use my, because I know we be understanding. So hear me clearly. And that's on that. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I will post it because it's only gonna be 30 views. It's fine. I'm gonna post it because I'm committing to putting my voice into the vacuum, putting my voice into the atmosphere. I believe that this is going to find who it needs to find. And maybe eventually, hopefully, we'll see. We can get some guests, we can get a real set, we can get some microphones, we can make this real nice. But for right now, it's just me, it's just you. It's our Chardonnay, aka Tito's, and we just gonna have ourselves a good time. So yeah, next week I'll give a schedule. I don't know if I'm posting on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays. Maybe I'll do 2 posts a week. Don't expect me to be put together. Right now, I have on my Walmart 2 piece braless. I don't care. I care about y'all. But I'm done. I'm done trying to make it perfect, babe. We're just anyway, we're gonna end this with a toast. So number one, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. If you're not already, please subscribe. Please like, please comment, please engage. If it's something you like, please share. I would appreciate it. To peace, to joy, to love, to prosperity, to getting everything that's owed to us. Salute. Bye, y'all.